G'day, everyone to Hogs, Cogs and two Aussie Flogs, the greatest podcast this side of the Bikers Ride for Charity.
Being run by our good friend Chop.
Yes.
In just a couple of weeks, and we will have a whole lot more on that very soon.
Yep.
But
It's going to be an epic effort. But anyway, we'll talk about that later.
That is
It's a big effort.
We will talk about that later. But first,
Yes.
we've had another fun day down at Geelong, mate.
We have.
We have. And interesting subjects.
Yes.
I find it fascinating to see little things you can do to your bike which aren't really huge, but they can make a huge difference.
Yep.
And, of course, what did we do? We head down and see the masterful maestro of motorcycle mechanics himself, Col Jones, down at Geelong Harley Davidson.
Now, what's actually good about this is the I mean, he's testing out this stuff to see what difference it actually makes. And I actually know a couple of flogs that have try to do similar sort of things to get things fixed. So it's very interesting. So we head down the freeway and go see Col.
Oh, another trip down that freeway.
Take it away.
Storyboard
Like a professional.
Are we wrong?
Paul complains that I plan too much.
Well, it's always nice to know exactly what we're talking about. So yeah.
Well, you're about to tell us if we know what we're talking
Exactly.
Just remind me.
Rightio, so we're back down at Geelong HD with Col, and today we're talking about catch cans, Col. Correct?
Oh, right, okay. That's good.
Work with me, will you? Right, so now basically this works similar to what a diesel car would work. Is that catch can on a diesel car? Is it similar sort of thing? Is that am I in the right ballpark?
Well, what does a catch can do on a diesel car? I'm not sure what you mean. So basically Harley Davidson have to pass the EPA rules, and they always have. In the early days with the Evos and stuff, they used to drop it to the ground. So you've got your pistons going up and down in there, and it creates a lot of pressure in the engine. Harley traditionally, and tooled up just recently, have always vented out of these holes here on the... So you've got to hold that camera in the right spot. People complain that they can't see. They look at my fat gut instead of the holes.
Yes.
Right. So Harley do that and vent out of the top here. I don't know if there's anything other... That's just what they do.
Yep.
You don't want to get deep into that, do you? There's one over here stripped down. We could...
Yeah, let's have a look at it.
What Harley do, because they're displacing, whatever you've got, if you've got a 103 cubic inch engine or a 120 cubic inch engine, that's what it's got on the top of the piston. It displaces that same amount of air. It just has to. And they hardly do it. Any pressure comes out. Most of it goes down the push rod tubes and back down into the cam covers. But there is air that comes out these holes. So it vents up into this top area, and then most of it goes down the push rod tubes.
Yep.
Vents down to the bottom. There are umbrella valves and all sorts of shit that sit up in the here that then displace the air back out this hole.
Yep.
So there will be an umbrella valve, or various valving Harley have tried over the years. Unfortunately, oil comes out of there, oil and mist and shit, and it's like a big electric jug in there. Water gets into it, and it gets into it through the fuel, it gets into it through the atmosphere, it gets in there, and if the motor isn't brought totally to temperature, it turns to steam, and then it condenses back to water. If you've ever pulled your dipstick out and seen all white, this one hasn't got it, it's not that bad, but this is a customer's bike too. I hope you don't mind us showing him, but don't matter. There's not a lot of condensation in this one at the moment. But there has been some. I've wiped this up a fair bit, but most of it's been cleaned.
So where would you see it if it was...
Coming out of the bottom of the air filter.
Yep.
This... I shouldn't have wiped it. I wiped it all down already.
Yep. Would you see it in here?
That's where you predominantly see it, but people don't take that off much to have a look. This one has got an aftermarket Chopper Baby air cleaner on it, and I'm not two brothers racing, so this is really quite a bizarre setup. They've got these little vents here, and you can see the size of those. Their idea was that air would push out through there and back down and back into the throttle body. I've got this one in the wrong spot, but you can get the general idea. the customer's complained that there's oil on his motor, so I'm dissecting it thinking it'd be pushrod tubes. I found that so far, and this other end split. I've got a round pipe going through a square hole. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I don't think's working very well. I'm going to change it. These are things that I make up and fit on there to vent a larger vent. So those will run to a catch can, and I'll block these off.
So what benefit is that to the engine? Like,
well, it's not putting the steam and the watery oil back into the throttle body, back into
right
the
in
engines.
saying that because you're doing that, if you're putting all this old oil and dirty old oil and steam in the motor, you end up with some carbonisation on top of the pistons?
Yep, that's exactly what happens. And you've got to understand, Harley have to do it.
Yeah.
They've got to pass EPA rules. I did experiment for a while with taking it out on my old girl over there and dropping it into the exhaust so that it just burnt in the exhaust. It was okay, but I finished up getting pollutants back up that pipe, and with a PCV valve on, it didn't work.
And being as environmentally conscious as you are, you didn't want to do that, did you?
No, I'm big on, what is it?
Yeah, save the whales.
Guidance whales. I like. So here's a bit of condensation. You can see this old mate's got one of these see-through covers there, and you can see that condensation. That when the motor comes to temperature, that'll go, and it goes up and into the tops of the engine. Harley's way of fixing this on the new CVOs is to not have vents up there, which is kind of interesting. They're venting the whole lot back through into the top of the gearbox. I don't know. I think that's a little bit of out of sight, out of mind, but I'm not allowed to say that.
Right, yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that's what they're doing. So what I've done on my own... Go on.
I was just going to say, so now you've got the larger, basically exit tubes,
Yep.
which your vented gases and oil are going to drop down into some tubes and into a catch can.
Yep.
Okay. And the old holes, but do you block those?
Oh, you'd have to, yeah.
Yeah, because
I'm not
otherwise
sure
it would
yet.
suck the air, suck it.
Yeah, I didn't know that you guys were... So I don't know what I'm going to do with this shit. I'm still fiddling. But these will have to all be sealed up. And I don't know whether to machine some off it. See, I've got to make it all fit properly. So I'll machine some off the back of these and put those tubes in. Or I might drill and tap these out and just screw some 8th BSP. But I want something with a decent hole size. So this is the bolt's fine. It's got 2 of those and 1 of those, so plenty of venting area there. But you're not going to vent shit all out. It looks like a syringe.
Yeah.
And probably on stock engines and Sunday riders, it might be okay. This is a 128 now, I believe, and the guy really hammers it, so it's building up a lot of pressure. And this is another customer that's the sort we like, who's honest and said, I flog the fuck out of it, fix it. I said, righto. So we'll put big tubes on it. I don't know whether I've got another catch can yet, but we can put it all back into the top of the sump. Everybody thinks that's a gearbox under there. Well, it's also part of the engine sump collecting area. But that sort of defeats the purpose. You haven't got rid of it, and it will finish up back in the oil. I'm trying to think where we've got a piston. Have you got a piston out of that thing with carbon on it? So this we won't talk too much about this bike, but that's what happens. It's just shit going. You'll get that anyway because you've got a big fire and a big temperature going on in there.
But with a large build-up of carbon, is that going to have any effect on the tuning of the bike? And
increases the compression, makes them go faster.
Okay. Doesn't sound like such a bad thing to me.
No, it's not ideal. You don't want that shit in there anyway.
No.
And if it breaks off and chips over and gets in your bore, you're starting to get carbon on wearing surface because you just don't want it.
Yeah.
So with the catch can, do you have to empty that out as well? Do you have to clean that out often, or is it easy to do?
Yes, it depends how it's been set up. I'm not in the business of, I'm not trying to sell catch cans. I've got one and I've put it on this, and I think it'll work. This is kind of the first time, well, not the first time. This is my own bike, so that it's got a very
nice
big
colour, Col.
Shut up. It's got a. I had to have it because we couldn't sell it to any bastard.
Surprising.
Yeah, I call it duck egg teal.
Yes,
but I think it's got a Harley name. Anyway, so this one, it's a bit of a hottie, so we've set it up And I've made a couple of those vents and put them in the back here.
Yep.
You're probably not going to be able to see them, but those are see that tube's coming off the front?
Yep.
That tube's coming off the rear, just into a T-piece. It runs along to here, and I've T-pieced it back into the sump area so that the sump venting down, that can vent out as well. And it's running from here all the way up over the back wheel. And because I'm environmentally conscious, I put a catch can here.
Yep.
So this was all done in a big rush. That's got zip ties holding it. We'd probably mount it properly, so you can unscrew the base off it. It's quite a neat thing, and that stops the pollutants getting to the environment. If you were an irresponsible delinquent,
right,
you'd just continue that tube down to about here and leave it, and then just hope that your mate behind you wasn't driving in your slop. So that sounds so bad and horrible for the environment. Triumphs and Harleys, they all what they call a total waste. They used to drop oil on the ground. The Triumphs come with a tube up over there to vent the engine. So, and it's all that condensation you're trying to take care of. So, because that's turning to milk and sludge in the engine.
So how much will it save the engine? What sort of is it a really big like preventative sort of thing to do that?
I would say so. I can't measure it and have no way of measuring it yet. But any crap you can keep out of your motor, and that's like running around with a blocked or air filter with holes in it. That shit's getting in there. It's not meant to be in there. So as to how long, I can't give you a number, but it would certainly help. Do you want this started up?
Yeah, why not?
Well, actually, you just said, Cole, that this is your bike. Is anything special about this thing, mate?
It's blue.
Blue.
Duck egg teal blue.
And the motor, it's just a stock standard
No, I can't.
117?
No, I can't lie about that.
No.
It's a 114.
Oh, yeah. Originally.
No, it's pretty good. It's I couldn't get traction. We took it to the drags the other weekend there at Heathcote, and I couldn't get the bloody thing to hook up. I took it down to 20 psi in the back tyre, and I still couldn't get any traction. So a lot of it's rider ability, and I haven't got a lot of that. So, but it's a little bit nasty.
It's a wicked beast. It is a wicked beast.
I'll
Fire it up.
kick it in the guts for you.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's a bit loud. I'll have to take it out and warm it, ride it again now.
I think that there might be some Viagra in the fumes. Because I tell you what, that's had an effect. That is very nice sounding.
I'm not sure what to say about that.
Me neither. I'm not going to say anything about it.
That is absolutely sounds sensational, mate.
I got one stuck in my throat.
Pardon?
Had a stiff neck for weeks. Hey, what's this exhaust on it, Cos? Is this one of your exhausts?
No, that's a Wagner exhaust. That's an old 2-cam exhaust that I put on my 120 originally, and they don't fit on a Milwaukee 8. And you can see they don't. It's hard up against there, and it's hard up against the frame.
Yep.
But I built my own system on it, and we did all the tuning on it. It made exciting horsepower and torque, and then we just wanted to try that. Just put it on there and see what it's like. So we've literally just tucked it on there and put it back in the dyno room, and the difference was incredible.
Really?
Yeah, another 15 horse, another 10 foot-pounds.
With that one?
With that one. All because it goes to 2-inch straight out of the exhaust ports.
Yep.
Like right up here, it's punching out to 2. And as I said before, the Milwaukee 8s are incredibly susceptible to exhaust. And it seems the more we experiment, the bigger they want.
Okay.
So not on your stock ones, they're all right like that. So we figured this would probably work for it because it had the extra long 2-inch primaries.
Yep.
and it was fine. It made a lot of horsepower, and after we put that Wagner on it, it literally flares out to 2 inches up here, and and then we stepped up again 2.25, 2.5 into the merge, and the bike loves it. Yeah. So we're actually out of injector on that bike now. We've got to find another bigger injector. Safety first. Yeah, that's the story with that. That's we're not going to talk numbers. The engine dyno numbers really can be manipulated too much, so I'm not really wanting to talk about that. I'll talk about quarter mile times when I can get it hooked up.
Yep.
It's fairly easily a 10-second bike, and with a really good rider on it, it might even go under, might go very high 9s, who knows. But getting it hooked up so hard, but it was wheel spinning in third up at Heathcote, so we just couldn't get it to bite. But the track wasn't there. Webby had our drag bike in fifth wheel spinning, so he just kept hitting the button, bang, 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 and just kept smoking the tyre. But he got a 9.3 in the finish, so he got some hook up in the end.
Yeah. That's very quick.
For a Milwaukee 8 it is, yeah. So this catch can thing, I'm not even sure if it's legal, what we're talking about. So we're probably not talking as a representative of the motor company, we're just talking, me I guess is probably the bottom line. But
So if you've got a bike that's been modified especially, and you ride it a fair bit, you'd recommend putting one on?
I would recommend putting one on anyway. I don't want that shit going in my throttle bodies. But the truth is, you probably have defected the vehicle. So if you went for a roadworthy, the truth about that is if you've modified it in any way, it's not going to pass a roadworthy. So I don't know. It's a bit of an ethical.
Though, because the whole idea behind it is so that we don't let the oil out into the environment, but yet we're capturing the oil still. It's not actually going anywhere. And then, of course, as a responsible whale lover, I would dispose of that oil in a environmentally friendly way, surely.
If you were to work your catch can properly, that's exactly what would happen. You're capturing it and you put it in the right way. The way the EPA or Harley do it, or not the only ones, putting it back in there, it gets burned again, is their idea. It gets burned. Well, it doesn't disappear. It's coming out there as some sort of fume.
It's coming out as a fume instead of a liquid. So to me, it sounds like an absolutely...
Well, I think a good functioning...
It's not a hard function, is it?
No, a good functioning catch can that's serviced regularly is probably the ultimate answer, really.
How often should you service it?
Oh, fuck, I don't know, and just put the fucking thing on there, we'll never
Every time you get it serviced, I don't know. I'm not going to ask any questions anymore. I don't get any answers.
Hey?
Well, you'd have to do it and see, Let's pop a hose off mine and see if there's any water in it. That was, oh no, there we go.
Have a look at that.
Oh, look at that.
So that's just condensation that's settled in the low part there.
Yep.
Based on that, let's have a look at see what's made it through to the catch can. Well, this bike has been ridden from the pits to the drag strip start line and done 2 quarter mile passes and put back in the van. So that's
not done a lot.
It's not done a lot. Oh, that has a little.
It's a nice looking catch can too.
Yeah.
I like where it's been fitted, mate.
Oh, there we go. So that's condensation from about 10 minutes worth of work, or not even that.
Oh, it's really good. Look at that. Geez, that's surprising.
It's a lot, isn't it? There's
is.
no oil in it. Well, there probably is a little bit of oil on it, but that condensation is still going into your motor.
Yep.
Because the bike's not making it. This is quite tricky. It's got baffles and separated plates and all sorts of good environmentally conscious things. I have to try and fix those zip ties. I'm not made of money.
But that incredibly shows how much, if that's just from such a small run that you've done on this bike. Imagine what after a trip up into the outback or something, it's going to...
Well, it comes from when the motor gets cold and hot and cold and hot and cold and hot. You'd probably feel that fairly quickly, the answer to your question. With this, but I don't even know where I got that. I think a customer gave it to me. I'll have to find out. Eventually, the water would fill up and it would run out of there.
Yeah, it'd be an overflow.
That's the outlet for
it.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I can't believe it. I'm shocked, actually.
Yeah, it's a lot more water than I was expecting. And as you say, if that's normally going back into the motor, surely that can't be a good thing, mate.
Well, in the old days, they used to inject a bit of water in with the petrol on the old Holdens and stuff.
Yes.
I'm surprised there's no oil in it. That's good.
I've got to say, mate, I like the idea of actually running the tubing to the back and having the cash can here at the back rather than where I've seen it before, which is basically underneath the air filter, and it just this looks so much neater.
Oh, well, I think it's just a personal thing.
Yeah.
Wherever it's easy to get to. With most things, it's got to be easy. So you set it up where it's easy, and then the customer may do it if it all takes an effort.
Well, with Harley riders, mate, it's all about looks, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, look at that seat, mate. That's how you like to look at that
what's
seat.
going on with that?
I have no idea. Webby brought it out, and I think it's another one of those mistakes at the parts. People ordered that by mistake, and I get it. The same with the colour of that bike. That
Looks comfy on a long trip.
Well, you sit on it, it's fucking like a rock.
Yeah.
I was going to say, mate, it doesn't...
It's actually Ford drag racing, is there?
That doesn't look as comfortable as my Corbin seat, mate.
Well, see, the difference is your Corbin, you probably didn't pay for it.
He's right there.
Thanks to Jeff, one of our flogs.
It's usually only the young blokes that refer to those fucking things to get all their answers and
I'm only young, mate.
So what's wrong with
we're trying to talk about a product here. We don't know what it's fucking called.
What about an engine stabiliser arm?
Yeah, it's very close, but no, it's a Hace or something.
This year?
Today?
So it's called a stabiliser bar.
Right, you can call it that if you like.
So what we're talking about is this.
See that arm there?
Yep.
It's fixed.
Right.
It's bolted through there with a style of Heim joint.
Yes, that's
which is
it.
where the Heim
Correct.
comes from. And the idea of that is the Heim joint can be done up tight, but it'll still have movement in it. Whatever it needs. That's a Heim joint. And that's a cheap Heim joint.
What's its purpose?
The purpose of this is to stabilise the top of the motor. Pardon me. Harley used to have one on the early models. There was a big one up in here that had a left and a right hand thread, and you could adjust it manually to align them. The reason you want to align them is the swing arm is coming off the back of the engine unit, and the swing arm and the back, therefore the back wheel, are all one unit. It's got a pivot through here. That's the centre of the pivot through there. The engine mounts are in behind there. It's sitting on the rubber engine mounts. But let's call the centre of the barrels vertical. This back wheel should be dead vertical to the frame. And if it's not, it means, so in a nutshell, the back wheel, if that's dead horizontal heading down the road and this is your back wheel, if your back wheel's like that, it's going to the bike will try and centralise on it.
Yep.
So it's going to affect both handling and probably tyre wear.
I would say so, and probably also partly to blame for the dreaded wobble that people talk about.
Yeah.
So I just made this bit of a thing up. It's patented. You can't be trying to copy it, but it's just an adjustable thing, and you can bring this around from one side to the other and see if they're out. In this case, it's probably...
Well, that's fairly out, isn't it?
It's probably 4mm, which is, we see them a lot worse, but that's probably not too bad. So to fix that, we would pull that stay bar in and stand the motor back up in the drive line so that the wheel was running at 90 degrees to the engine.
So it's simply a matter of it, once you've got an adjustable, one of those Heim thingamabobs there.
Upper engine stabiliser
bar, yeah, once you've got an adjustable one of those, you would just basically be rocking the motor
over
left
on the rubber
or right.
mount. Yes, on the rubber mount.
Yeah.
I've seen them, since I've been pissing around with it, trying to bloody work out what's going on, I have come across some up to 15mm out. You can't get that much in the engine mounts. You've got to loosen it all off and soften it all up and try and get it back in the right course. I think 15's too much. I worry that there's something else
out with that.
Out with it, yeah. Like I wouldn't hate.
But on average, you'd be looking at what we're looking at now.
This is pretty typical.
Yeah.
And it's an easy fix. Now I've got about 4 of them out with different, Hog Club members and stuff. they're all feeding back, that the bike runs down the road a lot straighter. They can take their hands off the bars. I never saw that as being an advantage. Why would you take your hand off the... Anyway, that's another excuse. People talk about being able to ride with no hands on the bars. I figure that's probably not the smartest thing to learn to do. Or have one hand off.
I hope we're known to do that.
Or have one hand off while you're filming yourself.
Don't watch too much video.
So this is your bike and you've put one on?
Yeah. So... probably this side's where you're going to see it. Yep. See up in there, it's threaded, it's got a heim joint on the end there now.
Yep.
You can go to the expense of putting a left hand and a right hand threaded heim joint on there. I haven't.
So like a turnbuckle, in other words?
Exactly that, you turn it into a turnbuckle. You don't have to be moving them all the time, so the cheapest way is to just put one threaded heim joint on there and you set it right, turn it out, put it back. When you've got the alignment right, lock it up, it ain't going anywhere.
Yep. So if it's not aligned right, is that going to affect your engine mounts eventually, like if they're rubber engine mounts?
Yeah, and I would say the trouble is they've been misaligned for so long, they've already settled in the engine mounts. And I think on some of these ones I'm struggling with, they have settled into the engine mounts wrong. So it's quite a annoying job to do engine mounts. You've got to get in here and pull the swing arm and everything out. It's quite a big job.
So if you were to do this, on a relatively new bike, that would that's a preventative maintenance sort of issue, isn't it? Really?
So yeah, right from the get. But you got to also remember, most people can't feel it, don't know it, and don't really care about it. It's just that if you're getting real fussy with your bike, you'll find this.
So Col, let me just, in a nutshell, basically you're replacing the top end stabiliser with an adjustable one. That's not a super expensive thing, and then it's just a matter of adjusting it so that those two bolts on your shockers are the same on both sides.
Equal length, yeah.
By using your patented Genius device.
Oh, this you mean?
Yes.
That's the one.
It also doubles as an attitude adjuster.
That would have to affect your suspension performance. I mean, if one side's loaded up more than the other, that's got to be affecting the way your suspension's working, correct?
Well, it's immediately changed your preload.
Yep.
So a lot of technicians and a lot of guys work on their Harleys themselves will have noticed when they're putting their shocks on, they've got to put one on and then lower the jack a little bit to get the other side on. Well, there's a classic example. The shocks, you've got to check them, but the Ohlins definitely come from factory perfectly equal length, and I think all your ones you put on, what were they?
Legends.
Legends, that's right. Trying to get a bit of a plug in there, they might give me something. So they come from factory.
Nothing left, mate.
Yeah. They come from factory set, right? And then if you're not sure what you're doing, you put as I said, you lower the jack to get the other side on. Well, it's out.
Yeah.
You know? If they're out extremely, I have talked to a guy whose opinion I value, and he adjusts the lengths of the shocks to suit the swing arm because he doesn't want one shock already preloaded over the other one.
Yeah.
Now, there's two trains of thoughts on that. If it's that far out, what's wrong? Where did it come from? Is it in the frame? You would like to think that Harley's frame jiggers are good enough not to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
And that's just on that rear thing. The front becomes a hole. I'm starting to learn a little bit about front end setups too. There's a lot in that as well.
Yeah.
And so it goes. We've got one customer in here with a violent in cornering, like in the old Harley death rattle, death wobble, speed wobbles, whatever you want to call it. And I got him in on a Saturday. We'll fix your bike, mate. I've got this new thing. Well, his shocks were perfect. So it was an old 2-cam, and they used to do it a lot before the Rushmore, and now Harley's got. But they still do that.
So you're
wiggle.
looking at an engine mount problem there. You'd suggest.
Well, yeah. There's things called True Tracks and all sorts of other performance devices that people have invented over the years to get around the rubber mount movement. The rubber's that's there for a reason to stop the vibrations.
Yeah.
You can lock them all up, and then the bike will vibrate like a bugger. You know. You can see them usually if you get a bike on a test ride and you go to look in your mirrors and they're all quivering. What the fuck's wrong with it? When you get back and you'll find there's a True Track or some aftermarket suspension, something they've done to try and stop it wobbling, and it's transferring the vibrations to the frames.
Okay.
So it's a compromise. Come and have a look at our new toilet.
Now, while we're down here,
Well, that's a beautiful.
well, look at that.
So Harley Davidson insisted that we had to put the toilet back on the showroom floor. So we did. And the only place we can get a septic connection is up the side there, which means I had to cut all this concrete and take it up to the stink pit, and you got to go north of your, like upstream of your stink. I'm serious. So that was going to cost. So I got this pump, and it got like a vitamizer in there. It chops papers, tampons, turds. Like it does, and it blows it up this pipe. Now a lot of people didn't want the see-through pipe, but I find it fascinating.
So you can see if they've had like Chinese the night before, or
Stand there and go, oh, Vindaloo. And I'm not joking.
But it looks a bit jerry out the back, mate. But come and have a look at the brand new
The paint is still in
Geelong Harley Davidson shitter.
I think. Oh, the paint has been orange.
So yeah, so
Have a look.
like I rode through Hamilton. So
Have a look at this.
We haven't had the official opening.
Eh? I think I might have to damage this.
We better have a look in
this
there.
is sort of the bowels of Geelong Harley
That's
Davidson.
exactly right into the bowels. Come with me. Have a look at this.
Oh, it's salubrious.
Oh, it's low. Hold on, mate. I'm getting a moment here.
The little doodles hidden on the girl. Now we need another.
What's that?
Mine's bigger than yours anyway.
Yeah. Well, you told me mine was like a
That's for women. That's for women who stand up to take a piss.
So, mate, that's two pretty reasonably easy fixes for two pretty reasonable problems, I reckon.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so. They, I think the shit going into your air cleaner and into your throttle body's an easy fix. There's lots of people have been doing it, lots of different ways. We've had some pretty funny ones I've seen though, where they've just taken a loop hose from one breather across to the other, so it effectively blocks it. You know, but that's not ideal. But
So, any of the guys out there that might want to get that sort of stuff checked out, you happy to have a look at them when they come in, and when they're here, they can actually have a shit, and we can film what they've had for lunch.
we should run a
This is
competition,
just got this.
couldn't we? Like you got to pay $1,
Yeah.
and you've got to see who can accurately guess what Abu Dabdu had for lunch.
Yeah, and not only that, but like we're talking catch cans. That's probably the biggest catch can there is.
It joins in.
That is a fairly big catch can out there, mate.
It sends a link.
Eh? The old Breville 3000. The Instinkerator.
All right, back to the studio.
Well, mate, I learned a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought I knew a lot about it, but you always pick up something new, don't you?
No, I'm actually going to take my bike down and get. We're going to test out the level on my suspension to see if the engine's lined up. So we'll do that. So we'll give you some feedback, and I'll give you a real life feedback as to what it's going to look like.
And I'm keen to put a catch can on mine.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I just
I actually couldn't believe how much water came out.
That moisture. That was just from the moisture, and that is going in and around your bike all the time. And that was just from, as he said, that thing had only done a little bit, not much work at all.
From the pits to the to the bloody start line and back, pretty much.
Yeah. So you've got all that water sitting in your motor.
Yep.
Which I don't see what anyone says, mate. It can't be a great thing.
And the other thing is too is with that the catch can is the not the catch can the what's it called, the bloody engine
mount
adjuster or whatever.
Adjustment thingy bob.
But what's it called, the Heimlich maneuver? What's it called?
The Heim.
A Heim. The Heimlich.
Yeah.
And not to mention the new toilet setup down there was quite impressive as well.
Seriously, did we really have to go there?
No, I thought it was.
Well, someone went there.
Yeah. I saw the corn.
Oh, my
I saw the
God.
corn, mate. I can't believe corn doesn't break down. Hey, why doesn't corn break down?
You're a sick man. Let's move right along. And next item on the agenda, we're just going to pass right over that. Now, as we were saying earlier, our good friend Chop is doing a little bit of an adventure in the next couple of weeks. Chop's Bikers Ride for Charity. I reckon we get him on the line, mate, and have a chat to him about it.
Let's get him on the line.
Good day, guys. How you going?
Hey, Chop, how is it, mate?
Yeah, good. Living the dream.
All right, mate. So you've got this massive bloody ride coming up. Personally, I think you're mental, but that's all right. You're doing it for a good cause.
Tell us all about it, mate.
Mate, you're not the only one who thinks I'm mental. Everyone else does, and so do I. I think I'm mental.
I'm just wondering if you're going to be regretting it about night number 3 where your ass is on fire, mate.
I don't know about number 3. I reckon after number 1 or number 2, it'd be on fire.
All right, mate. Tell us all about it anyway.
All right, so they were just there one night laying in bed, and I just felt like I could do a bit more for the Kids with Cancer Foundation. So I was like, I want to set myself up a bit of a challenge, you know, and I just wanted to go from state to state. And then I looked at it and whatnot. Then we're looking at a few different states. And then Christy, the missus, piped up and said, why don't you try and do 5 states in 5 days? And I said, is it doable? And then we looked into it and we were just like, okay, maybe it is, but it's going to be a massive challenge. So I'm like, that's it. I'm in. I'm doing it. So
how many Ks will you be doing each day, around about approximately?
Well, the first day I'll be doing 1,205. The second day is 1,160. The third day is pretty much 1,170, I think. And then 1,200 and stuff in the following day. And then the last day, I think, is 1,074.
That's all a big day, mate. They're all big days.
Massive days, yeah. So I've worked it out. I think about the first day, each day I've put 2 hours on for fuel stops and getting off, having a stretch and whatnot, checking the bike over, make sure she's still going good. And because you've got to get off and stretch when you're on the bike for 15 hours and even fuel stops, you know. So I put 2 hours on each day. So the first day is going to be 15 hours. Then the rest of them are pretty much like 14 hours or so. So I've already
be easy after that, mate.
I've sort of calculated each morning I'm going to have to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning just to rock in at 6 p.m. at night.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it's going to be waking up at 3 o'clock, I think, to load the bike up or whatever and have a shower to wake myself up a bit and then on the bike. But you know what? Old mate from Hog Lights has looked after me and given me a hog light. So
good man.
Make sure I get home safe, you know. But I was a bit worried when the package come because it said no motorcycle parts or near enough, and then it said the big black dildo factory, and I'm thinking, hold on, what's going on here? And then I thought, hello, I hope there's no funny toys for me for this ride. or my butt's not going to be sore from the frigging seat. It's going to be sore from something else. So, yeah.
At least you wouldn't slide off the back.
Oh, definitely wouldn't. But, hey.
Mate, it's going to be an absolutely incredible ride. I mean, that is a gutsy effort, mate. I'll tell you, my 1,200-day days are behind me, I think. So, but to do 5 in a row, that's monumental.
And you know what? It's for a good cause, so I don't mind putting it out there. And you know what? I need a good challenge, and I just got to get my mind straight. I've been doing a little bit at the gym on the cross trainer and that, trying to get me focused and right and that on different things. So we're getting there, and then I've even taken it to TikTok as well. So each night of me ride, I'm going to jump on TikTok about 8 o'clock. So some nights are going to be little bits of sleep, you know, but we'll crack through it.
Well, mate, you're going to have to give us all the links and everything so we can shove them in the show notes.
Yeah.
I had a bit of an idea, actually. I said, if we get you to get a program called Glimpse, maybe you could send us the link and then people can actually follow your journey.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a good crack, that's for sure. I'm looking forward to it, eh? I'm very
I'll have a chat to you off air about that, mate, because I reckon it'd be really good fun for people to be able to follow you, or as you're actually going along and seeing how it's going. You just make sure you turn off the speed part of it. But of course, you'll be doing the whole lot at legal speed limits, of course, which is why it's going to take you so long.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah.
So what's the actual charity, Chop?
It's Kids with Cancer Foundation. It's actual Kids with Cancer Foundation. Yeah.
And have you got a link that I can put up on the screen now, so where people can donate to?
Yeah, just stick it up on the link, and if you can donate, it'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those that are watching, Chop has got there's a page you can just go into. It's very easy. Hit the buttons, decide what you want to give, and you know what? This is bikers once again helping the community, and it'd be great if everybody could get on board. And it doesn't matter if it's $5, $10, $100, whatever you can spare. Jump on and give Chop a chop out here, because it's a bloody ripper job, mate, that you're doing, I reckon.
Cheers, man. So
is that on your Facebook page, Chop?
Yeah, it's actually there is details on my Facebook page there. And I've got a few sponsors that I've got behind me to help out with a bit of fuel and motels, because I've tried out with different motels, but no motels that want to give you a discount, but it is what it is, you know. So we'll battle along and we'll make it happen.
So, Chop, how much do you reckon? How much do you reckon your motels are going to cost you?
Yeah, I'm not 100% on that, but I'm going to put it in the vlog of what I've actually spent, what's left over, and that, and I'm going to put it in the charity. Like, I've already raised $130 or something from TikTok. That's going into it as well. So yeah, and
so what if I said that I'd cover your expenses for $500, at least your motels? Does that help you?
What's that?
I said, what if I said I'll give you $500 to cover your expenses for your motels? Does that help you?
Oh, mate, you're a legend. 100% will help. It'll help out heaps, man. It'll help out heaps.
Consider it done.
And I'm going to put my hand in my pocket, mate, and I'm going to donate to you online as well. So, and also, as Hogs, Cogs, and 2 Aussie Flogs, we're going to put something in as a team as well, mate. So we just hope everybody gets on board and gives it a crack. I know sometimes it might sound like we're always asking you to put your hands in your pockets, but you know what? That's what we do as bikers. We get out there and we help the community.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I actually met a young lady on TikTok there, and she was talking to me saying that she really loves what I'm doing, and there should be more people like this out there to try and help raise a bit of funds. Like, she had 1 week to go of her pregnancy, and she found out her little one that was inside her stomach had a tumour on her neck. So the baby now, I believe, is 18 months, and it's been going through 17 months of chemo, the poor little bugger, and she's in South Australia. So fingers crossed I might be able to meet up with her on the way through, you know, and say hello and try and get her in the vlog, you know.
Well, speaking of that, mate, meeting up on the way, are you interested in if anyone's following the journey that they come and ride for a few kilometres with you?
Mate, they're more than welcome to, but it's just going to be hard to put times on it. That's going to be the biggest problem, you know, is trying to get times on it. And some of these places are probably not even going to have internet for me to post where I am, you know.
Yeah. But if we get you running with that glimpse program I was talking about, we might be able to they might be able to follow where you are and come out and meet you on the road. And, you know, even if they come and ride for you for 20, 30, 40, 50 Ks.
Yeah, 100%.
Just give you a little bit of company out there, brother.
Well, they're not going to. I'll tell you what, they're not going to miss the bike. It's going to have a big Aussie flag on the back of it and lit up with blue LED lights like a Christmas tree. So you won't miss it.
So you're not taking the Springer, mate?
No, I'm not taking the Springer. She's off the road at the moment. She's just getting some more final.
Where's your commitment?
So yeah, no, we're taking the Street Glide. I've got to, otherwise that thing there, I wouldn't make it that far, especially with my back the way it is, you know.
Mate,
so I want to give her. What's that?
I was just going to say, what you're doing, mate, is absolutely incredible. We're proud as punch, and rap that we've got one of the Flogs actually out there doing this for the community, and we're going to be watching you the whole way, mate. It's going to be absolutely sensational.
Jeez, man, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys supporting me, and I appreciate the Flog support too, man. Good crew. Every time I go out with the Flogs, you know, they're an amazing crew. You know, you couldn't ask for better company. And I just
Cheers,
want to
mate.
say thank you to Nathan from Hoglights for donating me a headlight so I can light this road up like a Christmas tree. And we've got Tow Rex Trailers there. They've been a sponsor. K&N Traffic Services, Nathan as well from there. Amanda Margot Photography, she's amazing. She's sponsored as well. Mr. Plumbing and Gas, he's another mate of mine. So, yeah, we're doing all right, man. We've got a couple of sponsors on there.
That's
Appreciate
absolutely
you on the
brilliant,
show,
mate.
guys.
No,
That's an
mate,
absolute ripper.
Yeah, you're absolutely more than welcome. Like Whitey said, just like to reiterate that we are super proud of you. It's an absolutely awesome effort that you're undertaking. And if there's any chiropractors out there, just give Chop a shout out in a couple of weeks' time because he's going to need one.
You know what? I actually went for a massage today. I went for a massage. No shit, I went for a massage. And the lady said to me, I'll see you when you come back, but you want to get a float too. I said, all right, book me in.
There are so many lines we could use right about now, mate. But
Yeah, I'll bet you there is, huh?
well, speaking of which, I hope your ride has a happy ending, mate.
Well, I hope it has a happy ending too. Just not the happy end in your finger.
All right, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, viewers.
Well, I reckon that's just an absolutely fantastic thing that he's doing, and more power to him.
Mate, I tell you what, his back's going to feel it.
Not only his back, he got his ass. And if anybody out there is looking for a Corbin seat, it would be Chop would be looking for a Corbin seat, I would reckon.
And I'll tell you what we might do. We might put his route up in below here in the show notes.
Yep.
And if any of you are anywhere along that route, anywhere along amongst those 5 states, why not meet up and ride with him and give him a bit of company for a short time?
Or even just give him $20 to freaking towards the kids. I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, and that's as we discussed, mate. If you want to donate to Chop's Ride, which is an absolutely fantastic cause, again, I'll put in the show notes the link that you can go in and donate to his charity ride.
Yep.
So, mate, he's an outstanding guy. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him I said that.
No, he's a gun.
Yeah, ripper. So
and actually, his sidekick is a pretty important.
Well,
she doesn't get the kudos that
she doesn't, because quite frankly, it is Beauty and the Beast.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, because he's got a head like a no.
Oh, you're talking about? I thought you were talking about Christy.
I'm talking about Chop. You're a nasty piece of work. Now.
Biker news?
Biker news. There's a bit of biker news. There was some biker news on the TV recently, and basically what happened was, and I know my daughter was caught up in this, was there was an accident on the Mulgrave Freeway. Well, let's have a look at how that accident occurred and the ensuing chaos. Take it away, Channel 7.
A motorcycle rider is lucky to be alive after a decision that sent his bike flying into oncoming traffic.
Flying through the slow-moving traffic, this motorbike rider's decision ultimately sparked a terrifying crash, a freeway inferno and 2-hour delays for other drivers on the Monash Freeway.
It was pretty scary.
The 21-year-old man was splitting lanes just as the car driver decided to change lanes. The rider came off, his bike was sent flying across the centre barrier into oncoming traffic that sent a Mazda Ute flying, the bike pinned underneath as it burst into flames.
Hope it doesn't explode. The smoke was quite visible from quite far away. Both were on fire.
The quick-acting Ute driver only just escaped the flames.
Get up, run!
Before emergency crews arrived. The chaos forcing the closure of all inbound lanes and blocking 2 outbound lanes.
It was a very long time, so all cars were quite backed up onto each other.
Remarkably, the 21-year-old motorcyclist only suffered minor injuries and is right now recovering here at the Alfred in a stable condition. The other 4 drivers involved in the crash walked away without any injuries. Tyra Stowers, 7 News.
That's one lucky boy.
A very, very lucky boy.
Hey?
And
you know what? We're going to be doing something on this
very soon about how we can go about making our own lives a little bit easier, because, you know, as we always say, ride like they're trying to kill you, and treat it with respect, because we're losing way too many, mate. But, you know, I'm sorry, but behaviour like that...
That's pretty stupid.
It's just...
Look, it's one thing to be...
You're putting your life in other people's hands.
Yeah, exactly.
There, you know, I mean, and I can see that the driver... might have even looked in his rearview mirror, and the thing is, he's stuck in basically stationary traffic, and the problem is car drivers don't think, oh shit, there might be a bike rider splitting traffic here.
As much as they should.
Of course they should.
But you're not expecting it to come through.
That's no good on your bloody tombstone.
Well, you're not expecting them to come through at 100 k's an hour.
No.
Right.
No.
That's the thing. So we all lane filter. I lane filter as well. And there's a difference between lane splitting and lane filtering. There's two different things, right? Lane filtering is what we're allowed to do. Lane splitting, not so much. But you know, if you're going along, you know, in almost stationary traffic, and you come through at 100 clicks.
Yeah.
Or look, whatever it was, he was going quick, right?
He was knocking on.
You know, you really, I mean, you can't blame the driver in that situation. You've basically done yourself a disservice.
And you know what? I don't think that's going to buff out.
No, I don't think they'll buff out. Or, you know. And it was lucky that it did. I mean, it catapulted over the other side of the freeway. Lucky it didn't kill somebody on the other side of the freeway, right? Yeah. So, guys, you know,
common sense.
Yeah, a bit of common sense.
Little bit of common sense.
I mean, I know we bang on about you know, road conditions and people not giving way and all sort of stuff, but you know, we're also going to give you a whack if you've been a complete dick about it as well.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
Mate, I know we've probably seen it already more than we want to with his head tonight, but His Lordship Sir Chop of New South Wales,
yes,
has been out again.
Oh, he went to Bulli, didn't he?
Bulli, to the Bulli bike show.
Right.
So...
take it away, Chop.
Yeah, you just take over the show, Chop. See you, mate.
Thanks, Whitey and Paul. So today we're going on a ride down to Bulli Bike Show. There's an antique bike show, actually. Stay tuned, Flogs.
So we're just going to check out spectators' bikes. There is like heaps. So this is a pretty big show so far. So this is just spectators' bikes.
There's heaps here, plus there's a whole heap up the back car park, a whole heap over there. Check this old girl out, old mate's giving a kick in the gut. Few more old choppers took these out. Okay, Flogs, check out this. I hope you guys don't do this. Look how this guy's parked next to my bike. What about when I stand it up off the stand? Check this out.
Yeah, it's my footy.
So my bike's leant over that way, so when I stand it up, it's going to hit his bike. Smart thinking, eh? What a wanker. All right. Back to you, Whitey and Paul.
Well, another good show, another good event that he went to, obviously.
Well, mate, how hard is it to get up and most states and on Facebook, you can always find nearly every weekend there's something going on. So, and in Victoria, there is absolutely no excuse, I can tell you, because there's a Facebook group called Victorian Rallies Runs and Events that is absolutely run by an absolute champ. And
Chief or champ?
Well, yeah, one of the two, mate. Champ's probably closer to the mark. Anyway, there is that much on every weekend as of from now until probably April. There is no reason why you don't have you have to sit at home, and there's no excuse to not get out on your bike, mate.
No.
And we'll discuss a few of those events that are coming up in the next couple of weeks a bit later in the show. But another good one by Chop, mate.
Sensational.
Now, let's not have New South Wales have the whole show, mate.
Yep.
Because our friend Annie down in the Apple Isle has been once again out and about.
Greetings, Flogs and Flogettes. Greetings from Tasmania. Our winter calendar is a little bleak, just like the forecast. Road conditions over the last week certainly have deteriorated, and now potholes are the size of manholes in some places, so take care. On our calendar, September the 14th from 10:30 till 3 is the guided adventure bike ride hosted by House of Motorcycles in Launceston. You can test ride Pan Americans, yes, and Triumph Tigers and Ducati Desert X. So book in though, and free lunch is provided, so you put that date in your calendar. And also House of Motorcycles are the Royal Enfield dealer, and on September the 22nd they're hosting Royal Enfield's One Ride Day. Also need to book for that, and that's worth participating in as well. Next year, if you're thinking of coming to Tassie, make sure you're coming in February. 2 incredible events, and of course there'll be more, is the Hog Weekend and also Spoke, which is a weekend for all things motorcycle. Stay upright and take care. Greetings from Big Bert and me. Bye.
That was cool. Very good, very good.
Mate, Annie always gives us something.
Yes.
Hey, she is a cracker, mate.
She is. She's obviously given Bert the short shrift, and
yep,
he's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Well,
and he's taken over.
Actually, bit of a shout out to Bert. I spoke to him earlier this week. He's been a bit crook, so.
Oh, it's really.
I don't know. Apparently, he's got. It might be altitude sickness because he's about 7 foot tall.
Could be.
But he's been a bit poorly the last week. But he says to me he's coming good and he's got an idea for a ride. And I said, well, strap on the old GoPro, my friend. And,
thank God you said GoPro. Thanks. I was going for a second.
Strap on your GoPro. And you've got a very, very sick mind. And hopefully he'll have something for us in the next couple of weeks.
Cool.
And if you are thinking about heading down to Tassie, and you're after some information, I'm sure if you go to his YouTube channel, Big Bert, and it's got his email address there, shoot him an email. He'd be more than happy. I'm dobbing you in again here, Bert.
Yes.
Dobbing you in. So he'd certainly be able to help you out with some places, some rides, suggestions that you might not see in all the the normal motorcycle brochures and that sort of thing. But I tell you what, he took us on a couple when we were over there, mate, and some nice rides. Lovely ride. I'm looking forward to getting back to Tassie, mate. We're going to do that early next year.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to get back to New Zealand too.
Yeah.
And Sturgis. Ooh. And I just want to go riding. It's a beautiful thing, mate. Now, while we've got you, very, very important. We don't want to hit up everyone all the time, but our raffle that we're running for bikers against child abuse and also
Country Hope.
Country Hope. we've sold about half the tickets, mate.
Yes.
And that's not bad in about 4 weeks.
That's really good.
So 200 tickets down, 200 to go. And a shout out again to our sponsors of that raffle. So we've got Howling Wolf, who's giving us the main prize, which is about $1,800 or a full day set of tattooing.
Yep.
So you can go in there a clean skin and you can come out fully marked up. We also have Iron Maiden
Dave?
Motorcycle Detailing. Dave has kindly offered to do a full detail.
And ceramic coat?
Oh, a nice ceramic coat. Just makes cleaning your bike a lot easier, doesn't it?
Oh, shitloads easier.
Yeah. And of course, as always, Resurgence Jeans have come up with the goods, mate, and they're providing a lovely set of Resurgence Jeans of your choice.
Now, guys, with Resurgence Jeans, I was talking to Aaron the other day, and he's been a little bit quiet lately. So,
well, it's been winter, I suppose, mate. Yeah. But you know what? You've got to get prepared.
The riding season is coming. Listen, we just rode for 4 days straight out in the outback.
Didn't change me pants once.
Or your jocks.
No.
And the smell was...
How would you know I was right, mate? I was riding behind you.
The goats were riding away from us. But can I just say, if you haven't got them, get yourself a pair. $20 is $20.
Yeah.
If you haven't got yourself, get yourself a pair of Resurgence jeans. They are without a doubt, the most comfortable jeans I've ever had. And I'll say it again. I paid top dollar for mine. This is how we discovered them, and I didn't get them for free. And I've been prattling on about these jeans forever. And I'll say it again. They are easily the most comfortable jeans I've ever had in a motorbike. And you can tell me that you're dragon jeans. I'm telling you, I've had dragon jeans. I've got them there. They sit in the cupboard. I do not wear them. These are more comfortable. True?
Well, mate, we've been out and about all day today, and I've been in mine. And half the time I get out of bed and next minute I realise, oh shit, I've got my riding pants on because I've forgotten.
Yeah.
They are that good. So they are super comfortable. And you know what? The tail gunner just got herself a pair, mate.
Yep.
Of the leggings.
Yep.
So we'll get her to do a bit of a review of those as soon as she gets. We should be going somewhere very soon, and I'll get her to do a review of the leggings because I tell you what, she put them on. They look all right, mate.
Yeah, they're the ones that Elaine uses.
I'm a happy man.
They're the ones that Elaine uses.
I'm a happy man. Wow.
And Elaine rates them as well. She really fantastic.
So sensational. But yes, all you have to do is the link is below for for our big cartel Hogs, Cogs and 2 East Flogs at
2 Easy Flogs.
I've been using this too much today, mate. Yeah, 2 Aussie Flogs at big car. I don't know. The frigging link will be down there.
Yep.
Put the link in. You go straight there. The first thing there is the raffle tickets. Bang, $20.
Yep.
A raffle ticket, or we can sell you 5 for 100.
Yes.
All right, and a lot of people have actually done that. We've actually had a fair few people 5 for 100, so that was good. So
fantastic.
As I said, half of them are already gone. Once they're gone, there will be no more.
No.
And it's going to an absolutely ripper cause, 2 ripper causes. So.
Yeah, so we all know what Bikes Against Child Abuse is about, and Country Hope is basically looking after the families and the kids in the bush that are really crook, like you've got cancer and stuff like that.
All those sorts of nasty diseases.
So they really help out there.
Yeah. So no, fantastic. So that's bringing us very close to the end.
We've got rallies, runs and events.
Rallies, runs and events for Victorian riders or those that are close to Victoria. Mate, the calendar is absolutely chockers now.
Yep.
It's taking me about 4 hours every Monday morning. I log into work. Well, I go to the office first.
Yes.
It means I have a spa.
Yep.
Then I get up and I sit down and I work out all the new rides, and then we put them in order. And so for the next couple of weeks, we've got Saturday, we've got 3 events on. The 21st of September, we've got a Suicide Awareness Month ride in memory of Paul Scolio, and that's leaving the Edge at Geelong at 1100 hours or 11 a.m. All right. Same day, there's also a ride out to Walhalla.
Okay.
That's a ripper ride out to Walhalla, mate. I love that last about 11 kilometres in.
Yep.
And that's leaving the BP truck stop in Officer at night. Kicks off at 9:30 and kickstands up at 10. Okay. There's also, this one's interesting, mate. It's no good for me, but it says 21st September, Single Bikers Australia overnighter to East Charlton. I've come across this group, mate. Single Bikers Australia. So
to East Charlton.
It's going to East Charlton, it says.
East Charlton?
I don't know.
Charlton's not that big.
No.
I would have thought there was a north, south, east and west. It's just
I
Charlton.
think it's the start and the end of the main street.
That's exactly.
But anyway, that sounds like a bit of fun.
Yep.
That's leaving the Village Green at 9, Bacchus Marsh at 10:30. It's got numerous, so check out the Victorian Rallies Runs and Events page. There's the flyer there actually has all the details of I think there's 3 or 4 different bloody start locations. So they're picking up single people all over the state, mate.
So it's like a swingers convention or something.
Oh, mate. Throw your fob in a jar. I don't know if it's throw your fob in a jar. That might be it. Now, 24th and 25th of September, mate, down at the island, we have the Roaring Sporties race meeting. So that's the Sportsters racing. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not the baggers, but, you know, old mate of mine, Darren Bramich, who is young Tommy's dad.
Yep.
Used to race in the Roaring Sporties,
really?
mate. I tell you what, he wasn't too bad either.
Yeah.
Old Bazza, eh? Might kill the poor bloody thing if he sat on it now. Nah, he's a good bloke. That's just a ripper, and I tell you what, you can ride, that's for sure. 27th and 28th of September, you have the Mad Max 45th anniversary ride down at Maryborough Harness Racing Track.
Okay, cool.
Hosted by the South of Heaven Motorcycle Club. And let me tell you, me and the tail gunner went there last year.
That's Stiltsy, yeah.
Peter Stilts, who came and spoke to us about it last year. If you want to know what it's about, sort of, you can go back and look at one of our old episodes. But I tell you what, I'm still considering. I might be getting there.
Yep.
I might be getting there still. So they've got the AC/DC cover band. I can't remember what's her name. It's
Dirty Deeds.
No.
Highway to Hell.
No, close. It's one of their songs. Sounds like
She's Got the Jack.
No. You're a sick man. Anyway, we've got about 5 bands playing over the weekend, and then they do a bit of a run on the Saturday out to where a lot of the Mad Max was filmed.
Okay, yep.
And mate, it's a ripper week. And I tell you what, the prices of food, and you don't have to worry about taking any food with you or anything. And trust me, the prices are that cheap at the racetrack, and the grog's really cheap too.
Yep.
You can camp there. Have a look at the flyer. And if you've got nothing on that weekend, I can tell you, I'm going to be there. I hope.
Yep.
So we had a ripper time last year. Apart from the fact that I crashed my drone, it happens. So anyway, that's 27th, 28th of September, and then on the 5th of October, there's the Motorcycle Awareness Month 2024 launch, which is organised by the Motorcycle Community Engagement Panel.
Okay,
and that's going to be down at Travsville Square in Geelong at between 10:30 and 11:30. So if you want to go down to Motorcycle Safety Month launch, or if you're down that way, drop in. 5th of October, we also have a Cruise for Cancer, which is being run by Traralgon Harley Davidson. So if you're up Traralgon way, have a look at that. Kickstands up at 9 a.m. And on the Sunday, the 6th of October, the Pink Ribbon Breakfast Ride hosted by the Widow's Sons, and that's leaving the Waverley Masonic Centre in Stevenson's Road, Mount Waverley at 8 a.m. So that's it, mate. There's plenty there to pick from. And I tell you what, if you have a look at the calendar after that, mate, it is getting pretty full. So that's it for rallies, runs and events for Victoria. And I tell you what, mate, I'm excited.
I know why you are excited.
Why is that?
I'd like to bring something up. So for those of you who don't know, the old boy is a grandfather once again.
Oh, yes.
To a beautiful little baby girl.
Yep.
Abigail
Rose. White. She's absolutely stunning.
She is
mate.
beautiful.
Yeah, it took her all of about quarter of a second to melt me, mate. She's an absolute gorgeous little thing, and she was only born yesterday morning.
Yep.
And went in with the with her two brothers yesterday. Took the two brothers in to see her, and yeah, James and Emma have done very well with this one, mate.
So, on behalf of all the Flogs, congratulations
Cheers,
on
mate.
And all the best.
I did. Yeah, there's a lot of work put in.
Yeah,
by
I'm
me.
sure there was. Yeah.
Actually, the hardest work was by them because we're trying to hide the gender of the child. Because I'm one of these people that I don't want to know the gender of a child, mate, and everybody else seemed to want to.
Yep.
So everybody on the planet knew except me. And they did well. They kept it a secret. So it was a hell of a surprise. My first granddaughter. So very happy.
Fantastic.
Very happy. A new flog.
A new flog. Well, I think that's about it. So
I think we're finished, mate.
yeah.
I think that's it. It's been a great day. Thanks again to Col down at, and the whole crew actually down at Geelong Harley Davidson, mate. They're a great bunch down there.
They are very much so.
And while we're there, we picked up a couple of really good ideas for a couple of shows. So, which is good because I was running out of ideas. No. I don't think that's something we're ever going to have a problem with.
No, it's just something to come on all the time.
Yeah.
So, with that, that's it from me.
That's it from me.
That's it from Hogs.
Cogs.
And 2 Aussie Flogs.
Ciao.